As the scandal of the Jeffrey Epstein files shows no sign of abating, the Republican Congress, in a desperate bid to clear Donald Trump's name, is now preparing to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted sex trafficker and longtime associate of Epstein, to testify amid growing controversy over the Trump regime's decision not to release remaining documents tied to the Epstein investigation. Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced in June 2022 in Manhattan Federal Court to 240 months in prison for her role in a scheme to sexually exploit and abuse multiple minor girls with Jeffrey Epstein over the course of a decade. Maxwell was previously found guilty in 2021 following a one-month jury trial of conspiracy to entice minors to travel to engage in illegal sex acts, conspiracy to transport minors to participate in illegal sex acts, transporting a minor to participate in illegal sex acts, sex trafficking conspiracy, and sex trafficking of a minor. Why such a hardened criminal would be given the right of reply in a committee hearing is beyond me. Maxwell is much smarter and more calculated than these Republican lawmakers. She is likely to play them as she has played others. Trump might not get all he is bargaining for. Representative Tim Burchett, a Republican from Tennessee, introduced a motion to compel Maxwell, who is currently serving the 20-year sentence in a Florida facility, to appear before the House Oversight Committee. This move coincided with news that Department of Justice officials also plan to meet with Maxwell in the near future. "We need to send a clear message to the people involved," Burchett said in a statement on X, referring to those believed to be named in the unreleased Epstein records, including alleged clients and accomplices. "It's been 4 years. We can't keep tolerating this," he said. Shortly after Burchett's remarks, House Speaker Mike Johnson announced an expedited adjournment of the House, sending lawmakers home a day earlier than planned for their summer recess, which was originally scheduled to begin on the 24th of July and extend through August. The abrupt schedule change has disrupted the chamber's usual legislative calendar, especially as pressure mounts from both Democrats and some Republicans to make the Epstein records public. "We won't let this turn into a political stunt," Johnson said during a press briefing. Meanwhile, a federal judge in New York has ordered the Trump regime to provide more documentation supporting its effort to release grand jury testimony from Maxwell's 2021 prosecution. Judge Paul Engelmayer emphasized the urgency of the matter, but noted that key materials were missing from the government's filings, including justification for the disclosure and specifics about the information being requested. The judge set a July 29 deadline for the government's legal brief and asked Maxwell and her accusers to submit their responses by August 5.
Donald Trump has branded Mar-a-Lago the Southern White House. But in the 90s, Mar-a-Lago was Trump's South Florida party palace, one frequented by Jeffrey Epstein, who is facing charges for sex trafficking. He has pleaded not guilty. The president says his relationship with Epstein was no different than anyone else in their elite circle.
Well, I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him. He was a fixture in Palm Beach. I don't think I've spoken to him for 15 years.
Yet, a tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in, go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges.
Donald Trump knew the cameras were there. In the video, he makes a point to draw Epstein's attention to them. And the video captures Donald Trump and Epstein chatting while watching a group of women at the party dance. It's not an image that matches Trump's declaration that he was not a fan of Epstein's.
The Epstein scandal continues to cast a shadow over the Trump regime, with calls for transparency growing louder, fueled in part by renewed scrutiny of Trump's past ties to Epstein. According to a recent Wall Street Journal report, Trump once sent Epstein a sexually suggestive sketch featuring a fictional conversation between them. In response, the regime has filed a lawsuit against the newspaper and its owner, Rupert Murdoch. Pressure on Capitol Hill has also intensified, with both sides of the aisle demanding the release of the remaining Epstein files. Earlier this week, the Republican-led House, under Speaker Johnson, who initially supported full disclosure, but later reversed course, voted to begin its summer break early, therefore avoiding a scheduled vote related to the Epstein case. Burchett confirmed that he introduced the motion instructing Oversight Chair James Comer to issue the subpoena for Maxwell. Comer's on board, Burchett said. I believe he's going to move forward. He's a solid guy. In an interview with Axios, Burchett said he expects backlash for the move but remains undeterred. I'll take heat for this, but I've got to answer to a higher authority, he said, adding he had not consulted Trump before initiating the subpoena request. Burchett has previously written to Comer urging him to bring Maxwell in for questioning. She's the last person alive who can tell us what really happened, he told Axios, adding he believes Maxwell holds critical information about how the trafficking operation functioned and who supported it. Ultimately, he said, I want to see justice. The subpoena push came the same day the Department of Justice confirmed plans to send Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche to Florida for a meeting with Maxwell. Just last week, Trump instructed Attorney General Pam Bondi to petition a court for the release of all remaining grand jury testimony connected to the Epstein case. Maxwell's attorney, David Oscar Marcus, acknowledged ongoing discussions with federal officials and said Maxwell will always speak truthfully. On Tuesday morning, a statement from Blanche, shared by Bondi, reaffirmed the DOJ's position, stating that their earlier July release was still accurate and confirming plans for the upcoming meeting with Maxwell. The contradictions and confusion of these cases all revolve around clearing Donald Trump's name and have nothing to do with justice, certainly for the victims of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. If it goes ahead, this testimony is likely to cause further turbulence for Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. It also might not bring the results that the conspiracists seeking the release of these files are hoping for. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.